So welcome everybody to this beautiful Sunday that we're going to gather together. And if you need to mute yourself, that might be a good idea for right now. But let's just really take time to settle in and welcome ourselves into this circle. And we'll let the music take us in for that deeper place of that welcoming presence. One presence, one power, living God.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your heart and listen. So open your heart and listen. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your heart and listen. So open your heart and listen. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome.
And so the invitation is to allow each breath to be a breath of welcome, a deeper welcome and honoring of each of our beautiful expressions of that one presence and one power. And just allowing that breath to continue to settle us into this time together. Open minds, open hearts to this presence, to this time together. And from that welcoming presence, in this last Sunday of February, our month of love, we remind ourselves that truly there is only love in and through this life that we share underneath. And so again, we'll let the music take us deeper with that thought of only love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
So from that place of that depth of that welcoming, and in that welcoming, remembering that truly there is only love underneath, in and through, we know how truly connected we really are. And so we let that connection breathe us right now, that place of honoring oneness. One presence, one power. God, in and through it all, in and through each of us. We may appear so different in the outer, but in the inner, we are all made of this beautiful vibration of love. And our daily word today is connection. And so in this moment, let's just honor our connection with all people. Let's just take a moment to allow that to breathe us. As we have gotten connected here in our circle here for Unity of Blairsville, we send these vibrations of oneness and love and connection out into our world to touch, to heal, to make a difference with the simplicity of this intention and prayer. And our word says, no matter how great the distance that exists between me and the people I care about, I know we are connected by our love for one another. Today, I reestablish and strengthen this connection by reaching out, even if it's only to let someone know I'm thinking of them. Let's just take a moment and let a name or a face come to mind and just send out a little love note of connection. Our connection is also kept strong through prayer. As I pray for those I care about, I bless them by holding my highest vision for their lives, seeing them as healthy, prosperous, happy, and fulfilled. So again, if there's anyone in any of our lives that may not be their experience right now, let's just hold them in that vibration of absolutely seeing the truth about them. Healthy, prosperous, happy, and fulfilled as expressions of God. Whether we're in frequent contact or have fallen out of touch, my connection with my loved ones remains strong because we are one in God, one in love. And from 1 Corinthians 12:13, for in the one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. And again, the breath reminding us, for each of us, I honor my connection with all people. And so we take this connection and this oneness into the rest of our time together. Wiley, do you have another song for us here?
Sure. After the daily word, maybe?
That's what I just did.
Oh, I was praying.
Well, I
Okay,
kind of made
good.
it like a prayer, maybe.
You did, yes. Good. Let me see. I'm, has everyone, if look in your chat and see if that song, where
Yeah,
did that come
it's in
from?
our chat box, the words for the song. I just see them.
Okay, that's interesting. How's that get in there? Okay, good. Well, that's what we're going to do. I think, if I remember right, this um, at Unity of Greater Portland, we were doing the Keys to the Kingdom
Right.
prosperity course written by Reverend Chris, whom I can't remember now. And the very last, at the end of the entire thing, is this little quote of these words that we're going to sing. And that's where this comes from. I am opening up.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting out of the way. I am freeing myself from the past. I am forgiving and letting go. Let's try that together. I am opening up. I am getting out of the way. I am freeing myself from the past. I am forgiving and letting go. I am opening up. I am getting out of the way. I am freeing myself from the past. I am forgiving and letting go. I am opening up. I am getting out of the way. I am freeing myself from the past. I am forgiving and letting go. I am forgiving and letting go. I am forgiving and letting go.
Yay, thank you. So another outer symbol for that oneness that we talk about, and that love in and through it all, and that Christ's presence that we bring alive with our thoughts and our feelings and our life, is the candle. And the candle is that symbol of that inner light that is always aglow within us. But we can make it a little brighter with how we live our lives, can't we? So, so we light this Christ candle again to honor and to celebrate our oneness, and again our uniqueness of spirit in that oneness. We each have our own vibrations of this, and the world wouldn't be the same without each of us bringing our vibration fully to the table. All right. And our affirmation for the last time this month, I really like this one. It says, I welcome love, joy, success, health, wisdom, harmony into my life now. I'll say it again, and really breathe it in. Let your body really embody that and enfold it into every cell. I welcome love, joy, success, health, wisdom, harmony into my life now. And we claim it in the name of the living Christ presence. So today for our message, we have our dear friend Jeannie Ward with us again. We are always glad when Jeannie's with us. And Wiley has some music to take us into her time of her message for us.
So this song is based on this chant that I've done as a meditation. It says, I don't know anything and everything is possible. And it's an upbeat kind of fun version where I make up verses about the talk, which I have not heard yet. So this is going to be interesting because I know it's about embracing not knowing, which is a kind of flagship of my life.
So you really don't know.
I really don't know.
It's okay.
I just sing the chorus. you
could make up stuff.
Yes, here we go. And the chorus is easy. You can join in if you want. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. 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 There is so much going on, and sometimes, like now, I'm dizzy and can't think straight. But there is this song that helps me to focus, 'cause it's really all right to not really know. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. Oh, everybody, I don't know anything, and everything is possible. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. I think that's it, so it's over to you, Jeannie. And maybe we'll do this after your talk and give it more meaning. More. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. I don't know anything, and everything is possible. And everything is possible. And everything is possible. Oh my God.
Wiley, I tell you what, my friend, that is so perfect.
Oh,
It,
I'm
it
glad.
could not have been more perfect. I don't know about everybody else on this talk and service this evening, but I tell you what,
Thank
that
you.
was so me that I just had to keep laughing. Oh
So
my
good.
goodness, what a beautiful thing when we can just say, I don't know anything. You know, I know nothing, I see nothing, I hear nothing, I know nothing. And oh, that's just perfect. Thank you so much, Wiley. I truly, truly appreciate it. What a great segue. Good afternoon, everybody. It's so great to be here with all of you and just to hold this space of not knowing today. I often like to think of it, we often hear as the great mystery. You know, to me, that's really what it is place and space of simply not knowing. And I think often when I first got into Unity, well, actually prior to that, I was dipping my toes into science of mind, and this was in the late 80s. And, you know, I came from a really varied background. My mom was Russian Orthodox and my dad was fundamental Baptist. So there was quite a bit of mix of things, needless to say. And my dad was in the military and we never really went to church. We went to the chapel on the base. And I never really knew that much about God, you know, other than what my mom, the God of her understanding was a kind, benevolent God. And my dad's was more of the vengeful, wrathful kind of God, you know, the punishing kind of God. So I grew up in a state of confusion and I didn't really know anything. So I kind of was birthed out of that place of already not knowing. And you know, as I got into school and moved on, and I thought, I really don't have a clue about anything. So that was my theme. And I remember, as I digress here back to dipping my toes into science of mind, I remember I was in Nevada at the time, and I remember going into this church, and I thought, wow, this is really different. And science of mind always seemed a bit heady to me initially, but a lot of it made sense. Some of it resonated. And so when I relocated to Georgia in the mid 90s, and I didn't really go to a religious science church or even to, I didn't even know about Unity at that time. I didn't discover Unity until 2000 with the Unity Church in Marietta. And I just remember walking in there and I just sat there going, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm home. And I know I've heard that from a lot of folks in Unity. It was a very different energy and just a place like, wow, where has this place been my whole life kind of thing. Excuse me. And I thought, well, I don't really know much about that. So, you know, I've heard this is very common and I wish I could see everybody's hands going up for this. But I thought, okay, I am taking the deeper dive because I have just got to know, quotes around that, I've got to know more about this. So it was my mission to take every class I could take. I attended every workshop, every service. I was reading every book. I was on my path to become a licensed Unity teacher and perhaps a Unity minister. I was so hungry because I just needed to know. And so, you know, that's the different kind of knowing, really what I'm going to speak about today, because that's knowledge. That's the stuff. You can read about it in books and you can listen to somebody speak about it. But the kind of not knowing that I really want to lean into this morning and invite you to lean into with me is that, as I mentioned earlier, that divine mystery, that great mystery that we call God, life, whatever you want to call it. Because we could listen to every speaker, we could read every book, we could read and hear and listen to everything that's out there. My guess would be there isn't anybody that could really define and really know what God is, what that sacred space of the unknown truly is. And to me, that is the richness of life. That is the space between all the spaces and places where I think we truly connect with a knowing, not about knowing, but a knowing. To me, it's in our human bodies anyway, as energy beings, that there's a sense that we get. We've all heard that phrase, you know that you know that you know, okay? To me, that's very different than saying, oh yeah, I know the answer to that. Oh yeah, I can tell you that because, I've done all those things. I've read all those books. I've studied all of those things and I've got the answer. So here, call on me because I know it and I can know it better than anybody can know it. So that's a whole different kind of experience. So this afternoon is really more about exploring that divine realm of the unknown. And that's why Wiley's song was so perfect, because here we are in those moments sometimes of just like, okay, let me just kind of be with what's here. And do I really have to have an answer? Or would it perhaps behoove me and the greater good, if you will, if I say to myself, I am more interested in dancing in the questions and living in the questions, because then I'm going to be more open. I'm going to, in essence, be making a choice more often than not to lean into life, to lean into whatever is there in my discovery of whatever that is, and allow that curiosity, allow that divine essence of me to continue to not really seek because I'm trying to find something, but to lean into that essence and that energy that can, I believe anyway, remind me of my own truth. And even as I'm speaking right now and using words and all of that, I always think of Eckhart Tolle. I love him so much in that when he's explaining things, he always goes, here we are using words, but words are pointers. And that's what I love about what he says, because we all have our ideas of, that divine mystery and the unknown and how we navigate it, and how perhaps sometimes, like last year, 2020, and even now, do we really know from moment to moment? Do we really know much of anything? Everybody last year was like, well, what's going to happen? And what's going to happen with this? And what's going to happen with that? And again, we find ourselves getting stuck in, well, I need to know so that I can do X, Y, and Z. And I invite you, as I continue to invite myself, to just take that breath and truly allow that breath to breathe me, so that I can lean into that essence of God, that energy, and have that visceral experience, more of that somatic experience in this physical creation, where I can experience. And that's what it is. It's the experience of God, to where words are unnecessary. Knowing is unnecessary, because we tap into that divine sacred realm. There's a wonderful quote that I came across as I was getting some material for this talk, because there was really cool stuff out there. And I have a couple of things I want to share with you that I found that I just thought would kind of really be some juicy things to share. It's a quote by Daniel Boorstin. He's an author and a historian. And he says, the greatest obstacle to discovery is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. The illusion of knowledge. You know how we're always talking about everything's an illusion and it's an illusion, it's not real. But oftentimes I do believe that's what trips us up and it gets in our way. And one of the lines, in fact, what Wiley was singing earlier was, I'm opening up. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. So it was perfect when I read that, Wiley. I'm opening up. I'm getting out of the way. I'm freeing myself from the past and I am forgiving and letting go. All of those things, but especially I'm opening up. I'm opening up to what? To an experience that is truly what I consider ineffable. There are no words for it. It's unknown. Will I ever know? Does it matter if I ever know? To me, no, it doesn't. So that's a part of getting out of the way to where we are willing to say, I don't really need to know that. And I can just allow myself to be free, allow myself to be that open conduit and that channel to be guided in not just my thoughts, but in the experience. And that's, again, how I like to define it. It's the experience of the divine in that place of right here, right now. All I know is this, and that is more than enough. One of the things that I think is really essential to remember too is when we feel like we have studied really hard and we're on our path to what, quote unquote, enlightenment. Aha, I'll get there and I will have arrived. And I love the Buddhist expression of chop wood, carry water. I know a lot of you are familiar with that, I'm sure. Before enlightenment, what do? Well, you chop wood and you carry water. Well, guess what? After enlightenment, what do? You chop wood and you carry water. Because that place of enlightenment, if you will, that oftentimes we're feeling like, well, if I just get there, if I just arrive, then I will know all that it is I need to know. And everything will be right with the world and life will look so different. And I can say, aha, I have got my PhD, my master's, you name it. I could put all these letters after it and say, guess what, God? I've got it now. I've got the PhD in God. And it couldn't be any better than that. And then I just have to laugh and I go, how wonderful it is. And we can say, you know what? I choose to be in beginner mind. I choose to follow the example, what it says in Matthew 18:3. Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And I just love that so much because, we know the kingdom of heaven is that Christ consciousness. It's already in us. So what more do we need to know? That's the truth and essence of what we are. And we get into our adult brain and we get in our way and we have to figure things out and we have to know and we have to do all of that when we could just allow ourselves to say, yes, I am a child of the Most High. And I am going to open myself to that beginner mind and that innocence. We lose our innocence. And we find ourselves, kind of having our bumps and bruises from being on the journey. And that knowledge, if you will, that Daniel Boorstin talks about, it does truly get in our way. So when we say, okay, I am going to be like that little child, and I'm going to allow myself to affirm that, then I'm going to have that openness, the willingness to learn, the curiosity. Kids are naturally curious. And I could ask you this afternoon, in your life, are you as curious as you've always been or maybe were as a child? Or do you feel like, I've been around the block a few times. I don't really know that it's important for me to really lean into that or look into that because it just doesn't really interest me. And, all of that's okay. But what I'm going to encourage you to keep in mind and to reconsider is there something in particular, or are there things that you have said to yourself maybe, and perhaps even last year when you had, I know a little bit, you had a moment, right? Maybe a minute to contemplate something, right? Because we had a lot of free time. So were there things that you found yourself perhaps last year saying, when this COVID experience, when the pandemic, when things shift and change and are different, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C. Are you waiting still for something to be a certain way before you're willing to say, okay, I'm open to that experience. I'm willing to explore it. Here I am, God. Take me by the hand and let's go and dive deeper into the mystery of all that you are and the mystery of all that we are. I think it's such a wonderful moment that happens when we are brought to a standstill, like last year with COVID. To me, there are so many blessings from it, and we can take those and draw from those experiences. And in all of those moments when you could feel the energy of frustration, and even still now with everything that's happening, stuff's going to happen, life's going to happen, as we know, but the anxiety that's out there, the constant pushing and shoving, if you will, the energies that are at war with each other and all of that. And we're probably wondering, well, when is this ever going to be different? Is this ever going to stop? Is it ever going to get better? And then we find ourselves what? In that place of not knowing. So we can bring it back and say, what do I know in this moment? What can I allow myself to anchor into in this sacred space of the unknown, something that feels solid and foundational for me? Last couple of times, one of the talks I gave was about faith and about a faith lift and about having a solid foundation, that when we're feeling unsteady, if you will, can we simply say, I don't know, and there's something out there that I will never really understand, and I'm okay with that. I can really be okay with that, because perhaps in your life or in my life, we've had moments when we knew that God was so ever present with us, and without our trusting and having faith in those moments, we never would have gotten through those moments. There's a great little poem here. Well, first I'll share this quote with you. You got to love Socrates with this one. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. How profound is that? And I was reading a little bit more about Socrates and what was happening in the period of time that he grew up in. So it doesn't surprise me that he would say this. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. And when I even read that, and the first time I did, I felt so free. I felt so free and uninhibited, like I was liberated, that I could say, oh my gosh, how great is this? The only true wisdom is in knowing that I know nothing, but the God of my understanding knows all, is all, omnipotent, omniscient, all of those things. That allows me, in my moments of wondering or confusion or whatever may be there, to simply lean into that beautiful energy. This poem that I wanted to share is by Rilke, who's a poet and a novelist. And it says, I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world. I may not complete this last one, but I give myself to it. I circle around God, around the primordial tower. I've been circling for thousands of years, and I still don't know. Am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song? So I'm just going to offer that to you, even in your own experience. Who are you? What are you? And you may spend the rest of your earth years, just circling around God for thousands and thousands of years. And if you're thinking, well, I hope one day I will arrive, perhaps not. It's in the circling. It's in the exploration. It's in the adventure. That, to me, is the richness and the discovery that we find those treasures and nuggets in that space and that mystery of the unknown. Just as God is infinite, ineffable, every part of creation is reflective of this grand divine mystery. When we are willing to give up the certainty, how we have defined ourselves with labels, stories, and boundaries, we open ourselves to an ongoing awakening of our expanded identity within all of creation. We find that unexpected pathways, mesmerizing moments, and miracles are revealed in the unfoldment of our own lives. To me, what a gift that we give ourselves and each other when we say, oh, let me be a traveler in this realm of the unknown. Let me be the explorer and the discoverer, and know that every moment is revealing something to me. And because I have chosen to be still, because I have chosen to be silent and to tune in, I'm accessing all that I would ever need to experience. I'm not even going to say no. All that I ever need to experience for me to have that awakening, that moment where I truly know that I am one with God and that I am this wonderful manifestation of this ineffable energy, this infinite intelligence, and that God can delight in expressing itself and manifesting itself as me and through me. So just remind yourself there are wonderful, wonderful treasures as we dance in the unknown and the mystery. We find we're less stressed. That's one of the biggest things. That's a huge benefit. Less anxiety, less stress, because we're not having to get out there and figure it out all the time. And our faith is boosted. We learn how to navigate situations that we might be reactive to, and we can truly be transformed when we say, yes, I'm willing to dance in those questions. So I love this quote by Gandhi. We don't have to make it be big and flashy, how we live life, or arrive at a certain place and say, aha, I've got the trophy now, I've got the baton, here's my Olympic medal, gold medal, I've arrived now at the spiritual tower of whatever it is. We can remember this quote by Gandhi that says, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. So I invite you to come to the edge with me here at Unity of Blairsville in your own life, in your relationship with yourself, in your exploration, on your spiritual path, in your mental, your physical, your emotional, your health and well-being, all of it, to allow yourself to be open to that mystery and to allow that to be the catalyst for your continued journey. And I will finish with this quote by Antonio Machado, beautiful poet, that says, "Wanderer, your footsteps are the path and nothing else. Wanderer, there is no path. The path is made by walking." So that's what we're doing, if that's what we choose. So I invite you to join me in walking when we're willing to leave familiarity of that comfort zone, the imagined comfort zone, the illusion of the comfort zone, and we are willing to open to that wonderful realm and discover endless treasures and unbridled joy and a passion that moves our soul in ways that we'll never have words for. So thank you all so much. And I just want us all to dive into that mystery and let's see what we can discover together. Thank you.
There is a knowing that cannot be explained. There is a knowing that cannot be contained. And I am willing to be willing to surrender. I am willing to be willing to surrender to not knowing. There is a knowing that cannot be explained. There is a knowing that cannot be contained. And I am willing to be willing to surrender. I am willing to be willing to surrender to not knowing. There is a knowing. There is a knowing. There is a knowing.
I invite you now to allow your breath to breathe you. And feel that beloved breath as it bathes your body, inside and out. Every cell and fiber of your being. This amazing creation in which we are so privileged to experience God as us and through us. This great mystery that we are as that expression of the divine. A miracle to behold. The divine beloved, in its infinite wisdom, choosing each and every one of us to be that veritable vessel that voice for love. To be that Christ light that shines in the darkness, in those moments of uncertainty and unknowing. That we open ourselves up and we surrender. Laying it all down. Saying, "Here I am, God. Have your way with me." As a child, I take your hand and I walk with you in this divine mystery of all that you are. I am safe in this sacred space. My faith is steady. And my courage knows no bounds. I am open. I am receptive. And I am willing. I am willing to walk that path knowing that every step, every breath, every thought every choice is leading me home. As I breathe in consciously again and very intentionally to the very core of my being, I am blessed beyond words. I am blessed beyond measure. I welcome this sacred space of not knowing, and I delight in the discovery as I dive deeper into the divine mystery. All the treasures and nuggets are revealed to me, and I am so blessed, and all is well.
Deep breath, everybody. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Wiley. I was kind of hunkered down in that mystery. How about all of you? Well, we'll keep journeying there. That's what we've got. So this is the time in our service where we give back. I know I've been nourished. Have you been nourished with this time together? I've been nourished. And so the teaching is that as we give, we receive. As we receive, we give, to keep that flow, to keep that circle wide open, that flow wide open. So the invitation is to imagine holding that offering in your hand, that gift, that love offering, that tithe for this beautiful time that we've shared. And then after the service, if you feel so inclined to go push that button on our website, it's an easy way to give. But let's just hold that thought of giving back as we have received. And again, let the music open us to this a little wider.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 10,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
Thanks. We say yes, the universe says yes to that wide open flow. So it was, as Wiley was singing that song, I was looking around the screen and just enjoying looking at all the faces and seeing the love. And that was a sweet blessing just to end this time with. But again, thank you, Jeannie, so much for your message. Yeah, thank you for being with us. Always good messages. And for each and every one of you for being here, sharing your love and connection during this time. And if you'd like to stay on for a little while afterwards, we can do some sharing that we would in those unity halls that we all have had in our communities, where we talk and nosh together. And so I hope you can stay for just a little bit and we can talk. So blessed be everybody. And I see each of us taking those footsteps just into the mystery, you know, it's the walk, and I wonder where we'll land. Good stuff.
Thank you all so
always.
much too. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Thank you, Jeannie.
It's always my honor and pleasure. Thank you all so much.